Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission, as always, is to dig into some unique source material and pull out those crucial, actionable insights. And today, we're tackling a really charming narrative. It's titled The Paintbrush Leaves, Autumn Art Show in the Sky.
It really is a fascinating text. And
Yeah.
what we're going to do is treat this story structurally.
Hmm.
Look at its discovery, the crisis, the resolution. The aim isn't just, well, enjoying the story itself, but really uncovering its lessons about creativity, working together, and maybe most importantly, the responsibility that comes with having almost unlimited potential.
Okay, and the setting really paints a picture for that, doesn't it? This quiet town, Willowbrook, fall's just starting,
Yeah.
its signals change is coming. So what actually kicks off this whole magical journey?
It all starts with one specific moment, a character named Lily. She's the one who spots the single leaf acting, well, differently. It's twirling down from a tree, but not like the others. It seems almost deliberate.
Right. And when it lands, that's when the magic becomes real. Yeah. It's not just a pretty autumn leaf, it's something else. The key detail, the thing that just flips everything on its head, is that the tip. It was dripping bright blue paint.
Exactly. Actual vibrant blue paint. Not sap or dew. That's the spark.
Wow. So that's the origin point. This subtle, unexpected creative tool just appears.
Precisely. And, as these things go, it wasn't just one blue leaf for long. Suddenly, more start drifting down. All
Oh.
sorts of magical colors.
Yeah, I love the description of those. It wasn't just standard colors, was it? There was a red, like a fire truck.
Sunshine yellow?
And the one that really caught my eye, a purple leaf that actually sparkled, like glittery.
Yeah, radiating light as it fell. They immediately got the name Paintbrush Leaves. Pretty clear what they do.
So function established, and what happens next? Do they, like, study them?
No, not at all. This is where it just explodes into this collective burst of enthusiasm. The kids especially, they don't question it. They just grab them and figure it out. They find out waving a leaf through the air leaves this glowing trail of color, just hanging there in the sky above Willowbrook.
Ah, okay. And I bet their first instinct wasn't exactly subtle creation.
Not even close. It was pure, unrestrained fun. Big swirls, sharp zigzags, giant rainbows across the sky. Total creative freedom.
But you mentioned it was collective. It wasn't just the children.
No, and that's really key when we think about collaboration later. The source makes a point of showing the communal joy. Even the squirrels got involved,
Squirrels, what were they doing?
painting little acorn-shaped doodles in the lower parts of the sky. And birds were apparently using the leaves too, writing silly words as they flew.
Okay, that's quite a scene. It shows how infectious that initial creative buzz can be, right? Everyone wants in when something new and powerful shows up.
Exactly. It's that moment of pure euphoria. A transformative tool appears, and everyone dives in.
It sounds like the perfect, almost chaotic success story. Immediate adoption, widespread fun. But we know how these things usually go. Unfettered creation often leads to problems.
Precisely. And the story pivots pretty quickly because, well, their canvas wasn't infinite. The sky had a limit. It just became completely saturated with color.
Right. So the shift from fun to, oh, unintended consequences. What was the main problem when they realized what they'd done?
The sun, it literally couldn't shine through anymore. The sky was just too thick, too dense with all these beautiful streaks and doodles.
Creation became obstruction. That's interesting.
And it's Lily again, the first one to see the magic, who voices the issue. She cries out, "Oh no, we painted too much." That line is sort of the turning point, isn't it? Recognizing that infinite possibility just hit a very real wall.
Yeah, that really resonates. I mean, for anyone dealing with information or creative projects, it's like all those squirrel doodles, every bright idea,
Yeah.
eventually it just becomes noise if there's too much.
That's a great way to put it. And it's highly relevant, I think, that immediate success leads straight to this problem of saturation. It's a perfect analogy for information overload, isn't it? Imagine gathering, say, 50 brilliant articles for a project. Each one is like a sparkling purple leaf, right? Amazing on its own.
But if you try to use them all at once without any structure,
Exactly. You haven't made a masterpiece. You've just blocked a view. You've created noise, not clarity.
so it's like having 50 browser tabs open, all great stuff, but you're paralyzed because you can't focus. The sun, your actual goal is blocked.
Precisely that. The power of the leaves wasn't the problem. Their management of that power was, or lack thereof. And it forces this really important question. When does all that wonderful, pure imagination need some boundaries? How do you avoid getting overwhelmed by your own inputs?
They have to shift gears from just making stuff to Well, managing the mess.
From creation to curation, you could say.
Okay, curation. But how? They've got this sky full of color. They can't just wipe it clean, can they?
No, the story doesn't give them an easy out, like a magic eraser. They had to use the same tools, the paintbrush leaves, to fix the problem they created.
Ah, so the solution involves more creation, not less, but like smarter creation.
Exactly. Strategic collaboration. The whole community, kids, animals, everyone who participated, they start working together. Synchronizing. They don't try to erase the color. Instead, they start using their leaves to swirl all that extra paint, all that beautiful chaos together into one single, huge, coherent image.
So it's not dilution, it's synthesis, combining it all.
That's the perfect word, synthesis. They're transforming the overload into something meaningful and unified.
And the result is this autumn art show in the sky. What did it actually look like?
The description says it lit up the whole sky. And importantly, it wasn't just abstract swirls anymore. It showed things. It depicted autumn trees, friendly animals, smiling children. Basically, it reflected the community and the season. It was intentional.
So the act of cleaning up became its own creative act, a collaborative one. They didn't just tidy up, they made something new out of the excess.
Right. It turned the chaos into a shared artifact, representing their teamwork. Collaboration didn't just fix the problem. It elevated the outcome.
It turned information overload into a focused message.
A beautiful, focused, but temporary piece of art. That's also key.
Ah, right. It didn't last forever.
No, the story says the mural gently faded as the breeze blew the last of the paintbrush leaves away, and then the sun could shine clearly again.
So they managed the whole cycle: discovery, creation, saturation, collaborative synthesis, and then letting go. No permanent clutter left behind.
It's a fantastic model for managing, say, finite attention in the sky with potentially infinite information, the leaves. Create, synthesize, share, and then clear the space.
Okay, this is great. Let's really nail down the explicit takeaways here. The story seems pretty direct about its lessons. What's the first big nugget about creativity itself?
Well, the source spells it out. Creativity is powerful, it's exciting, that initial rush is undeniable. But the characters learn it becomes more meaningful when it's shared and handled responsibly. Meaning isn't just in having the cool idea of the sparkling leaf, but in how it's used with others. Communal application.
Right, which leads directly to the second point about working together versus trying to do it all alone.
Yeah, the narrative is explicit here. It says, teamwork turns small ideas into big masterpieces. That single blue streak is maybe a small idea. The mural is the big masterpiece. The synthesis. The final report, maybe.
And the core lesson the characters learned wasn't just sharing is nice. It was that the real fun, the best outcome, came from creating together and managing that shared space.
Wait.
Not from trying to do it all at once individually. That quote seems key.
Right.
They had to pool their resources, their excess color, and refine it.
And that overarching lesson, the one they learned through that painful moment of saturation, is really about balance. Balancing that incredible imaginative power, the endless potential, with responsibility for the outcome, for how it affects the shared environment, the sky.
It's moving from just creating to actually contributing something coherent.
Exactly. What really stands out is that creativity, that power, shines brightest when it's refined and shared responsibly. This story beautifully tracks the journey from one kid's cool discovery to a whole community figuring out how to handle it together. Collaboration becomes the mechanism that prevents the overload and makes the initial spark truly impactful and sustainable.
So this deep dive into the paintbrush leaves, it really shows how a simple story can mirror a complex challenge. Balancing that initial burst of enthusiasm, our own bright ideas, with the need for collective responsibility, teamwork, and a plan for synthesis, for cleaning up the beautiful mess.
It does. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. Thinking about this theme of creative balance. How do your own paintbrush, leaves, all the ideas, the information, the knowledge you gather, sometimes threaten to overwhelm the clarity of your sun, your main focus, your goal? And how can you intentionally, maybe more consciously, swirl that knowledge with others through discussion, collaboration, whatever it takes to create that shared masterpiece that illuminates rather than blocks the light?
That really is the core question from Willowbrook, isn't it? Fantastic. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive. Keep exploring that balance between your own imagination and insight.